build that trust and that muscle with like what it takes to build a team coming off of like that situation I was in, because it changes you in a way. Um, I just knew kind of two things. One, I needed to be extremely transparent about the people that I was working with. I would let people know exactly where I stood and what they could potentially have to work through in working with me because of the history. Like, look, this is the situation I'm coming out of. This is how I look at things right now. And I think maybe only one or two other people really wanted to partner with me on a deep level, but I would just let people know like, yo, I'm not in the space to do that mentally, right? Because that could be something that could be negative or non-beneficial to both that person and myself. So I was just extremely honest about where I was. And then the second piece is I had to have some level, it's funny, this is kind of contradictory, but some of the people that end up coming on the CT were just, I just found them, right? And so I didn't have any relationship with them, but through their actions and their consistency and how they showed up, like over time built up a ton of trust with me. But the other part of it too was I needed to, for other people, I was very, very slow to bring on, and they needed to come in by way of either a referral, or I at least had to have some sort of relationship with you at first, because I needed to understand your character. And I think that was a blind spot. No, it wasn't a blind spot. I think that was something that I had ignored previously by overlooking certain character flaws and tendencies and thinking like, oh, well, this person would never do X, Y, and Z because of the history connected to it. And there were clear signs. I mean, it was clear as day. And so if I started to pick up on some of those signs now, I can spot it and I can course correct pretty quickly so that I'm not caught in a situation where I have to build from scratch again. I was just being honest. And it was just stuff, I would like to think I have a decent level of like EQ. And I think in situations where you're dealing with a lot of money with other people, it can, if you allow it to, it can mask the things that you really need to pay attention towards. And so once I got over the idea or stopped caring about a ton of money and having money at the center of like what it is that I was trying to do, like we needed to vibe on a different level. It needed to be more character alignment than anything else. Cause I always felt like once I started to rebuild, I always felt like the money would come. I just had to keep showing up. That's what I kept telling myself, even though it was tough, even though I wasn't confident all the time, even though, there were other external things happening connected to that. I was like, yo, I gotta stay consistent with this. And staying consistent doesn't just show up only in like popping open your laptop every day. It's like my whole lifestyle had to change. It had to change where like everything of what I did on a day-to-day basis needed to be somewhat structured. I had to build up a habit and a muscle because those were things that I kind of got away from previously because of how we were doing things. And I just kind of went back to the basics, man. I really did. It put me in the mindset of like what I was doing to kind of get ready for hooping in college in the off season. It was like that kind of mode and that kind of grind for me at the time.